Hey guys, this is Bring Me at the Farm. It's time for a video. I haven't done one in a while. Um, Let me kind of show you what's going on, what's growing on over here. I think there's some other people who say that too, but there's my chives. They're doing really well. Got my iris there. This is all my iris bed. They've all have bloomed and are done blooming. I have some garlic intermixed in here. Like that's garlic right here. Some garlic that I just forgot about, but. So they're all bunched together. Got that one, and I have that one right here. This is garlic as well. And garlic in Utah just grows really well. I have cut off the scapes. Those are the little flower bulbs that grow on top to just try to get the bulbs bigger. Let's see, here's a mum right there. Another mum. More irises. You can see some of the residue of the irises. I have about 30 different types of irises. My wife and I, we collect them, and that's pretty fun. Here's some more garlic. These are the scapes that I'm talking about. So these will eventually flower. If you take these off, you can eat these and like stir fry and stuff like that. They're really good. But what we do is we'll just cut them off. We don't really eat them, but I mean you can. And but if you leave these on, the garlic will stay small, so the garlic won't be as big. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 to 4. I think there's 4. Yeah, there's 4 different garlics that are growing right there, and then some more. Look how pretty those are. They're just so pretty. Yeah, we have all different types and colors. And let's come over here. Oh, here's a Jupiter's beard. A white one. We got more in the front. We also have more irises in the front. This is really a great plant to have. It's really hardy. We have some peas grown. Oh, my shadow's in the way. Look at all these peas. They're all just kind of bunched up. You can see all the pea pods that are growing. Those are getting ready. Pretty close to it. And then you got more peas. Well, the trick with peas, growing successful peas, is that you have to plant them in the shade. If you plant them in your garden under full sun, they just don't do as well. But they need that shade so they can stay cool. Then they'll produce a lot longer than if they were in full sun. So we kind of learned that from just trial and error. But there's all the peas. You can see how many there are. They're not quite ready, but they're getting closer. And so we just plant the peas in our flower beds in the backyard under these trees. That works really nice. There's my shed that I built. I just designed my own plans and built it. And then that's, see, it fits all my stuff. It's hard to see right now, but. Okay, here's my garlic bed. This is the garlic. See all the scapes I've just kind of threw out there. They're just wilting away, being done. So these are this is my garlic. I have about 80 heads of garlic in here, and they're doing great. You plant these in the late fall before it really starts freezing up. You plant your garlic back in the ground, and that's how you maintain garlic. Garlic only really can store well for a year, from what I've found. So I put them in a box. I'm trying the box for the first time this year, and that's what I'm doing with that. These are my potatoes. So those are my potatoes in the ground, and they're doing great. As soon as they start to flower, you can see a flower over here. Let me kind of tell you about this. See this flower? Once they start to flower, that means you can start harvesting and eating the potato. Before that, you don't really want to. Here's my carrots. I got one giant carrot that's going to go to seed. That was residue from last year. That was left in the ground. The voles got my carrots for the most part, the ones that I was storing over winter in the ground. So this year I'm going to pull them all up. But those are all carrots. And I harvest my own carrot seeds, so I'm really happy to have that one. Because I'll be able to harvest the seeds, and I'll be able to do all of this again next year. I have some beets that are getting ready to harvest. And this is lettuce. This is a romaine lettuce. And I made the mistake of growing these all bunched together. You can see how thin they are because you grow them together. They get really thin. But it's the ones that are out here that aren't, they get really thick and awesome. And then here's some more romaine lettuce. This lettuce patch right here grows itself every year. And so I have all the lettuce I can eat. And just because I let my lettuce go to seed and it plants all right here again. So I got 1, 2, 3, and a hybrid 4. And I have lettuce over there 5. I got 5 different varieties of lettuce, and I got spinach. You can see my spinach is going to seed over there, right here. That's all spinach. And I'll go show you that in a minute too. But I got peppers intermixed in here. I'm kind of practicing this new method where I'm just kind of like planting things together. So there's more peppers, seeing if they'll work out well. Those are all like cayenne peppers. And then these ones are bell peppers. And there's something right here. I don't know quite what that is. Oh, it's more beet, it looks like. Okay, and then I got tomato plants right here, intermixed with the lettuce. This is onion. This is walking onion, Egyptian walking onion. And what happens is it bulbs on top. So check that out. So there's about 15, 20 bulbs on that thing. And you see the bulbs are already starting to spread out and make their own onions. Just by sitting here on top, taking in the moisture, and they're sprouting right now. So this is ready. You just pop this off, you separate them, and you just plant them, and you've got onions for the rest of your life. You don't ever have to worry about it again. The reason why they're called Egyptian walking onion is because they grow up tall, then they bloom, and then they bulb like this, right here, and then they get so heavy that they fall over and they plant themselves in the ground, and they literally walk across your garden. And that is what they do. That's why they're called Egyptian walking onion. So walk across your garden. So we got that happening. Here's another tomato right here. And this is soybeans. I know it's kind of hard to see these old weeds, but we got soybeans that I'm trying to grow. It looks like they're low on iron. But yeah, this is a soybean plant that I'm testing out, seeing if I can get it to work. And then this is cabbage right here. I need to thin them out. And then I have a row of English cucumbers. These are heirloom cucumbers. Everything I'm growing this year's heirloom, just so that they can replant themselves for the next year. Less work for me. These are cucumbers all along this path there. And they're the long, skinny ones. They're called telegraph cucumbers. And they're the long, skinny ones that you can buy at Costco that are so good and expensive. And so we're trying to plant them. We're going to see if we can grow them. The ones at Costco are not heirlooms, but these ones are. So the trick is with all the hybrid and GMO seeds. So they're not bad as long as you can get seeds that can reproduce themselves. But every seed that is a hybrid or genetically modified came from heirloom seed. So the heirloom seeds, if you just plant them over and over and over and try different things with them, you can have heirloom seeds that can do the exact same thing as heirloom or as hybrids. And that's what people don't really tell you. But this right here, these are all Pioneer pink-eyed beans. These beans will grow purple, big old purple beans, and then they will, when you cook them and they're ready, they would have turned green, just like a green bean. But they're one of the most rare beans in the United States. And they were brought over by the pioneers when they came over to Utah and settled Utah. These are more tomatoes. Right there. They're doing fairly good. You can just see tomatoes. These are my sweet potatoes. So I got sweet potatoes that are growing. I got 3 different varieties. And the middle one is Georgia Jet. And then this one starts with a V. I can't remember the exact name of it, but and then the one over on this side, they all pretty much died. So they couldn't take the cold, as well as the, I think it's a versatiles or something like that. I can't remember. But I planted my giant State Fair pumpkin seeds yesterday, and here is one of the holes that I planted them in. So we're gonna check that over time and see if it comes up. I don't know if it will or not. But yeah, we'll just play by ear and see what happens. All of this patch right here, all of that, sunflowers, and they all self-seed every year. Once you plant a sunflower, that's an heirloom. You'll never get rid of them. I literally have 1,000 sunflowers there. It's hiding my rhubarb plant. That's my rhubarb plant over there, and it is hard to get to because of this barrier of sunflowers. It's pretty cool. I planted just this year, I planted elderberries. So I have 3 different varieties of elderberry. Let me see. This one right here is the York berry. And you can see they are starting to berry up and bloom. And elderberries are really great for fighting the flu and other illnesses. And what the elderberry does is when you eat the elderberry, it actually, so when you get the flu, the virus spreads from cell to cell through an amino acid in the cell that goes from cell to cell. What the elderberry does is it keeps that amino acid from spreading to another cell, and so then the flu doesn't spread, and your flu is shortened and isn't as bad because of it. So that's kind of, I just read that in a book just last month, and I thought it was so fascinating. I had, I never knew. Anyways, I got melons planted in the corners, and I got another elderberry over there. So I got Adams and John's elderberries. So I got 3 elderberry plants, and then my asparagus is covered up with sunflowers back there, and just growing like crazy. And then let's come over here. I just decided to do this. This is my worst soil. This is the worst ground I own. And I planted another giant pumpkin right there yesterday too. So we'll see if that takes off. It has a watering drip line to it. And then over here, I have a bunch of little melons that I'm trying to grow. And we'll see if they take off or don't. But these are all the ones that took. And so I'm trying to just help them out. I got one there, I got one there. I got them all over the place back here, just trying to see if I can make this into a self-propagating melon patch year over year. I'm not sure what this is. This is from last year. I don't know if that's a melon or a squash. But I don't know. But I'm going to leave it just to see what it is. Here are the chickens. Let me get a backup view of the chickens so you can see the chickens. And then there's my chicken coop right there. And this black hose that goes into the chicken coop right here, that is my automatic chicken watering system. So it goes off as the plants out here get watered. It drip lines directly into the bucket down there. It's kind of hard to see. It's not focusing. But and then I have a feeder in there, and it works fairly well. Although they still waste so much food, I'm trying to figure out how to keep them from wasting so much. Anyways, I got to figure out how to do that. Over here, I planted another pumpkin right there. Let's see if it takes. Now this is my orchard. Here are my trees, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples, because we like to make our own apple juice. And then, oh, you can see here's another little plant right there too. I think they're watermelons and honeydews all throughout this orchard. They don't grow as well in the orchard just because it gets so much shade. But you can check this out. Here's a thing of apples right there. Right? and these will grow and give me all of the apples that I need. And then here are my peach trees. See, there's some peaches right there. They're just growing. And so those are doing really well and nicely. And recently I haven't been putting the super low branches, but now they're all drooping on the ground. They do that every year. You can also see how they kind of self-thin. You can see all the drops down here. So I don't thin my fruit trees, and my fruit always gets big because they just kind of self-thin. I don't know why that is, but that's what I do. Over here are my blackberries. So here are the blackberries that are all growing up all the way down the row. I have blackberries on this other row too. This is a boysenberry that I planted right there. And so I'm just going to see if that takes off or doesn't. I think that's a hollyhock. I don't know what that plant is, but I decided to keep it just because I wasn't sure. These are my raspberries. So last year we got about 36 gallons of raspberries off these bushes. These bushes are about 35 feet deep and I don't know, 4 or 5 feet wide. But they're growing like crazy. All along here, our flower beds are full of strawberries. And so you can see the strawberries are already growing. Okay. And we've already harvested probably, I don't know, 6 pounds of strawberries. But yeah, they just grow like crazy out here. You just have to water them. And then here's more strawberries. Yeah, look at this one right here. Yeah, look at that. That pretty. Let's see. That one's almost ready. I'm gonna. Is there another? That's more ripe over here. Okay, I'm looking for a strawberry. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm gonna take it. Okay, so there it is. Look at that. This is a beautiful strawberry. It's beautiful. They're so good. And then we made the mistake of planting. I can't remember the names of them. Salvia inside the bricks, and that was a mistake because now they're all over the freaking place, and I just want to kill them all. Now, I thought it would be good for the bees, and it was, but it's just so annoying because of how much they grow, and you just can't kill them, and I don't want to use poison, so that sucks. Anyways, let's come over here. I'll show you this plant too. Okay, so back here, these are cherry bushes. And these used to be the most popular bush in the 1920s. And people used to can the cherries that were on them. You see all the cherries? They actually grow to be cherry size, which is cool that we can them. So we do that, but we haven't canned them. This is the first year that we're actually going to get something. And then, but my kids usually eat them before I get the chance to get them. And then there's my blackberries. But anyways, that's my garden, and I think it's looking good. And I just got to figure out how to protect against the weeds and stuff. But you can see there's the garden right there, and my pergola and my swing that I built, and my orchard and all that stuff. But anyways, hey, thanks for watching. This is Bring Back the Farm. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.